What's up, everybody? It's Mechanics Garage coming at you. Today we're working on a 2007 Chevy Suburban 1500. We got to bust off a tie rod end. So on this thing, we got to do the outer tie rod end. So if you don't know what's the difference, this is your outer tie rod end because it goes towards the outside, and your inner tie rod end goes in here. So on this one, as you can see, it's kind of hard to see when we move it. This thing's bouncing up and down here, and we're hearing some clicking and clacking. Yeah, go ahead and wiggle that around. As you can see, that's moving, and that tie rod end is sitting still. There should not be any movement between here, so we're gonna go ahead and replace that.
Oh, so glad it wasn't that.
So to replace it, most of these tie rod ends, they have a nut right here. What you want to do is break that nut loose first. Don't unscrew it all the way, just break it loose. And then what you're going to do is, after that, you're going to come down, and usually there's a cotter pin in here on the bottom. You're going to pull your cotter pin out, and then you're going to go ahead and take this nut off here at the bottom of your tie rod end. All right, you can see what we did here is we put some tape on here as a guide to help us with kind of guesstimating like how many turns we're gonna need when we take the old one off and put the new one back on. And you see now we've gone ahead and we've removed the nut on the bottom. So now you just go ahead and tap the side of the knuckle, and then no matter if you hit this because it's going in the trash. You go ahead and tap that to go ahead and pull that out. But if you want to be super professional, if you got you one of those little pickle fork things, you can put one of those in there and kind of tap that. That'll pop it out too. All right, so now we go ahead and we popped it out. So now you want to rotate the outer tie rod end counterclockwise and count the number of turns. So right now, since it's pointing down, once you rotate that 360 degrees, that'll count as one. So that's one. You want to keep counting until you get all the way around and get that thing off. All right, so what you want to do now is you're going to take your new tie rod end and compare that to your old one, and they should be the exact same size. And the one we got, so we got a Master Pro. Here's the part number for you if you're looking for the tie rod end. So they look to be identical, which is great. One other thing you note too is with these, so they have a little pin on the end of it. That's where you put your grease fitting at. Most of the time these come greased. As you can see inside of there, there is some grease in there, but we always like to pack a little bit extra and then go ahead and put in our grease fitting.
You said this would have the same size, so.
Yeah, so we're screwing it back on. We screwed it off at 21.5, and we left the nut in place as a guide also along with the tape. So we're going to screw it back, counting back that 21.5 turns. All right, we got the tie rod end on, and we got it back into our spindle here. And if you look at the bottom, there's a castle nut. You want to take that cotter pin. There should be a hole right in the middle of your bolt that the castle nut lines up with. And you run your cotter pin through there, and you either spread it or you bend that cotter pin over. And this will stop your castle nut from backing out. Because sometimes just vibrations just from the road, they'll have a tendency to want to move a little bit. And the last step you want to do is go ahead and make sure we tighten this nut back down here, and then you can remove your tape. All right, that's it. So we'll give you the torque specs on this earlier in the video. We don't have them right now, but we go ahead and we're gonna torque that down and then throw our wheel back on. And then a recommendation after you do one of your tie rod ends is take your car to your local shop and go get a wheel alignment. And that's it. It's a pretty simple process, something you can do in your driveway. As you can see we're doing here, we're doing it in the driveway. Pretty easy. All right, that's it. More tips and tricks, hit us up, like and subscribe. Catch you on the next one.